Hello, Internet. I'm HamsterBomb.
Hello, I'm Matt.
And you guys are joining us for Hitbox. This is our gaming podcast where we talk about whatever we're feeling like in the video game industry. And there is a big topic that requires, I would say no introduction, because I feel like all of us have been affected by this awful tendency these days for dealing with scalpers in the video game industry. And I have Matt joining me again. We're going to be talking about some scalper stories, but also look at like different sides of this problem. I'm gonna say now, actually some good that comes out of scalpers. Not much, but there's some good. We'll get there.
It's like all things.
We'll get there. But anyway, in the interim, since I am talking with Matt over the interwebs, I'm going to be giving you this visual audio splendor of Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy Color while I try and happily zone out and pretend that none of this awful stuff that we're talking about is real. So,
it's real.
It is. It absolutely is. So, anyway, I'm going to be doing some Pokemon Pinball. That's what you're going to be listening to in the background if you are hearing this instead of just watching us. So, Scalpers. How about I get this started with one thing. I'm just gonna put this into perspective here. So let's just say you are generic boomer mom, and you are getting tired of your no good son just sitting around playing Vigi games all day. And you know what? You get this article shows up in your Facebook feed. Yeah, that's a boomer thing to do. And what's it say? It says, high school video gamer spends COVID break just buying and selling video game stuff, makes $500,000. You know, boomer mom goes, oh, wow, why can't my little Timmy be just as good as this guy? You know, this is a real admirable young man. And then even if they read this article, they will get information out of this that basically says, you know, oh, well, they were so smart. They play it off like it's like the stock market. So smart, they went to the internet and figured out that they should buy a bunch of PlayStation 5s. And if you buy a bunch of PlayStation 5s, you could sell them online and make a lot of money. Well, sigh. I can't believe that we live in a world where our news, like, don't understand like almost anything about what scalping is, which is sad because in a lot of countries, this is an illegal practice. And even on a lot of places, say eBay, for instance, where most of this stuff gets scalped, it is against their terms of service. Completely against the terms of service. So Matt, I don't even know if you knew about this, but if anybody is actually selling something on eBay that, for instance, is, let's just say, for example, Metroid Dread, right? Oh, yep. Dang it! I just dropped my ball. Let's just say it's a game that was, announced several months in advance, right? And it's got, amiibos. We'll talk about amiibos later. But it's also got a special edition. We'll talk about game special editions for sure. So, say you got like a special edition, right? And you really want to get that. It's obviously physical. It's got limited quantity. If you want to nab one of those things, you obviously want to buy it from a game retailer. You want to go to either a GameStop, you want to go to a Walmart or a Target or whatever, anything that you can actually grab one of these for. And they're all sold out immediately. How did this happen? Well, little Timmy from that article earlier, he actually wasn't just, this coy little guy, as we all probably know listening to this, but just to know how it works, they're setting up bots that basically storm these websites, make a bunch of fake accounts in order to buy, oh my god, I'm doing so bad, in order to buy as many of these units as basically they can afford, so that they can game the entire market in their favor and basically sell them for a stupid upcharge.
Oh yeah.
So for example, PlayStation 5s. I don't even know what it's supposed to retail at anymore, just because it's been scalped so much.
400 for digital, 500 for physical.
Right, yeah, there was a digital version. See, it's been so impossible to even, like, talk about a PlayStation 5. I didn't even know what they went for.
They're out there, but they're all on eBay.
Exactly, and that's the thing. they're against eBay's terms of service too. So when it is a regular PlayStation 5, eBay can't actually do anything about it because technically, now that the PlayStation 5 has been released, you can't prove, you know what I mean? Like, you can't actually prove that it's not being scalped, even though, like, we all know it is.
Yep. It's unfortunately, like, sad to say, yes, we know it is, but if you're talking about trying to prove it is...
Right, that's when, to prove it
hard.
for eBay, you need, like, say an amiibo, right? And we know that the Metroid Dread stuff, it had a release date. And it was already being scalped on eBay, like, the day of announcement, which we know... in eBay's terms of service, like, they are not allowed to sell you something that they can't fulfill within 30 days. So, we know for sure, without a doubt, that's being scalped. And eBay was actually taking them down when people would, show this. You could report it to eBay and they would actually take them down. And I don't know about you, Matt, but, I actually considered making an entire live stream where I did nothing but report Metroid Dread Special Editions and Amiibos to eBay. And that's it.
I won't lie, I got a little salty one day and literally spent like 2 hours just reporting.
Oh my god, see, that's the thing, isn't that sad? That's the real thing that is so sad, that both of us considered wasting our valuable time just reporting losers on eBay. The scum of the earth, true villains, I would even go so far as to call them crooks and thieves, like ruining this entire market. And it's wasting our time, and in the end, we don't get the product that we wanted to buy. We just want to buy a product. I mean, could you imagine this back in, like, the 90s? It seems ridiculous.
I think honestly, I remember something similar to this happening when the PS3 was coming out, but that was more of there just wasn't enough of the PS3.
Right, that was different. It was never the people just completely taking advantage of the fact that, one, yes, there was a chip shortage. There's a lot of like boards that are hard to come by. Graphics cards right now are especially hard to get your hands on. So
graphics cards are horrible for scalpers.
Right. Yeah, it's not just video game stuff too. It can be graphics. It's all sorts of things.
Anything. Sports is a big one.
Yes. But anyway, just to keep it in the video game world, it's just really sad that we're basically unable to buy this stuff. Sometimes even at all. So. If you really just wanted to buy something, like I said, Amiibos are probably the most notorious for this, where you can't buy them, like, at all, because the bots will immediately buy these things up. And, oh my god, it sucks so much, because you have those instances, like, where I don't understand how this happens. I mean, Matt, if you understand this, please enlighten me. How the rest of the world seems to think... or at least the rest of the world is in, whoever is reading these articles and writing them too, where, little Timmy made $500,000 selling PlayStation 5s, and they got this picture of this kid. Oh my god, I saw an article like this, and it got, shared on Twitter, and the hate was so massive, and the news organization had no idea what was going on, why people were so angry. And it was like, it was sad hilarious, but people were like demanding to know where he lived. Because they saw a picture, they saw like his house, because they saw a picture of him in front of his house. Because the news, of course, they're like taking a picture of this kid who, very stupidly, I guess, agreed to take a picture in front of his house.
Let me just dox myself real quick.
Well, right. Well, now you basically just said, I am the villain of the internet, and you can't play your games because of me. Maybe, like, you were saving up your money to, what? Like, you wanted to play... the new Horizon Zero Dawn, which Matt will talk about in just a bit. Maybe you wanted to just play Ratchet and Clank. I don't know. You want to play anything. You have PlayStation 5, right?
Yep.
And you saved up your money for it. Well, sorry, you got to save up an extra $300. I don't know. What is it actually upcharged at the moment, Matt? Do you know?
Or what? What are we
just the PlayStation 5 physical.
And it ranges anywhere between $750 to over $1,000.
Oh my god! It's almost double?
I got eBay open on a tab because I'm just like searching for examps. Let's see.
Yeah.
PS5. And I'm going to search by lowest.
Well, yeah, of course, because that's how a buyer is going to spend it. It's another thing, while you're looking that up, I saw another thing on Twitter. Somebody was sharing, and they're a stronger person than me without revealing the eBay seller's name, showing their you can like DM people on Twitter, I guess, and there was a direct message, not from a buyer but from another seller, about something that they were selling on eBay. And the message was the seller basically telling them that they're selling it for too little money and they have to ask for more so that everyone can make more money. And it was like the most dry, businessy thing. It's disgusting.
Lowest right now is about 500, but those are bids with several days.
Oh, they're bids, so I don't count that. You gotta go to buy it now. You have to go to buy it now, otherwise you have no idea.
Oh boy, alright.
Speaking of which, this reminds me. Well, by the way, I'm actually playing this on an NES Classic that I've modded, and I've been trying to get an SNES Classic for the longest time so I can mod it and play Super Nintendo stuff. And like I said, yes, this is a Game Boy Color game. Yeah, I put Game Boy Color stuff on it. Whatever, I said I modded it. But anyway, obviously I want to put a ton of stuff on the Super Nintendo one. And oh my gosh, those classics when they came out were awfully scalped. People couldn't even get them to like play games. I've heard so many stories of people saying like, oh gosh, I was waiting in line and I felt like I was the only person there who actually wanted to play the games. Everyone else was just talking about how much money they were gonna make. Yep. Waiting in line at Best Buy. Isn't that just, that's just sick. It just kind of shows like, this really should be illegal, at least in the United States. I don't understand how it is not illegal.
Because they're making money. If there's anything the US cares about, it's making money.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're making less money. And that should concern them. In, I want to say most countries, I'm not positive about most countries, but I'm pretty sure about this. This is an illegal practice. To price gouge is what they call it. We call it scalping.
Sony's not losing money. I mean, they're buying them from Sony. Sony is
true. Yeah, that's the thing. But what they're doing is ruining a free market, and governments do not like that. So companies are gonna have obviously a different share on this. So like Nintendo and Sony, yeah, they're making all their money, but they could be making a lot more. And the real problem, oh my gosh, Magikarp's just flopping in front of me. That's hilarious. The real problem is that it's like subverting a free and open market and a fair market where people can actually pay, you know, what they think a product is worth. But even if all the sellers are coming together and telling each other what they need to charge for a product in order to drive the price up, that's gaming a free market. That's manipulating it. That's against the law. But, whoa, what the heck is happening? Oh, it was a weird minigame thing going on. But anyway, yeah, it drives me up the wall. And there's also like, there's so many like, oh, I did terribly. That was the end of that minigame. So there's so many other like individual stories that we can tell about this because it's so bad all over. And it's not just like, you know, I wanted to buy, here, how about this? This should be easier. In this case of the NES and SNES classics, right? You're saying Nintendo is making their money. That was your case earlier. I would argue no, they're not, because I didn't purchase one right away when they started selling this product, and now Nintendo even still has websites live for this product, and you can't buy it. And of course, it boldly advertises its list price. You can't buy the product though. I want to purchase a product from a company, but I can't do it because of people gaming the market. And yes, they make out and make sometimes like hundreds of thousands of dollars manipulating a market that they have no business in. And doing it in a way that is illegal in most countries and violating the terms of service of the online companies that they sell the stuff on. So it's illegal all the way around, but no one's stopping it. But instead, like, the illegal stuff that these companies are able to get their hands on is like copyright infringement. You know, like the Metroid Handroid game guides just got shut down within the last Hitbox episode and this one. And that's something like, yeah, we all kind of knew stuff like that was going to happen because it is violating copyright. Like, I get that. Though that one's kind of pushing it. We might want to talk about like fan art and how far like fan games can go before you really should just leave them alone. But that's another topic altogether. However, I just wanted to say, like, I feel like this is actually subverting so much of what free markets are. That's the real problem, and not so much like I can't buy my Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So, individual stories. Matt, I know you just had a run-in where you basically dodged a serious bullet. How about you tell them about that?
I dodged 2 bullets.
2? What's your second one? Oh, actually, you know what? Well, tell them. Tell us both.
Well,
I know what one is because you told me the other day.
Yeah, well, they're both the same thing. It was for the, hang on, let me pull it up. Let me pull up my tabs.
I don't know if you guys were watching that, but the ball went straight through my flipper.
Nope, you missed it.
It went through the flipper!
You missed it.
I played this on purpose so that I wouldn't get heated, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna be very calm, and, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, play a chill game, but I swear, that went right through the flipper.
So, about 2 days ago,
Yep.
was it 2 days? About 3 days ago, the collector's editions for Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West came out.
Is that the full? I thought it was I thought it was Horizon Forbidden West. Right. I thought that they were basically saying the title of the series is Horizon, and the last game was just subtitled Zero Dawn. But for the longest time, we all thought that was like the whole series.
Yeah, because we didn't know it'd get a sequel.
Right. We didn't know any better. Right. So, and I kind of like that. I like the series name Horizon. That's pretty cool.
So I wanted to get they have 3 editions: the launch edition, digital deluxe edition,
which can we, before we move on, can we very, very shortly talk about how weird it is that people had to wait to like pre-order a digital copy? Yeah, it's like there was like a Twitter countdown for that. That was like, so strange.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on with Horizon because it's leading the charge between the in-between of PS4, PS5.
You're right, yeah.
Because right now they're having to deal with Sony, and I go back and forth on this. This is a completely side rant, but
that's fine.
They want to charge. Sony wants to charge $10 if you want to upgrade from PS4 to PS5.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're paying for that work. You know, it's this kind of thing was eventually going to happen. It's kind of like saying, like, Adobe switching from discs to an online service. People need to keep working on it, and I get it, you know. It makes sense.
Another good point of it, too, is, like, for a PS4 game, it costs $60, PS5 is $70. So they're essentially trying to get that $10 difference back.
Sure. Anyway, yeah, carry on.
This is different. So I wanted there's the Launch Day Edition, Digital Deluxe Edition, Collector's Edition, and then the Regala Edition, which is the one I sent you that has like the Focus replica and the statue and all that.
Yeah, that thing was loaded. You know, very minor, another side tangent. We don't get awesome pre-order collector editions nearly as much as we used to. They seem to be either like just for whales, like the super huge expensive stuff, or it's just like you know, bare bones, you get the game and maybe a steelbook. So,
yep.
Yeah, anyway.
But
I miss those cool stuff.
Horizon, so I didn't care how much it was. I was getting it.
Yeah, I know you do, yeah. By the way, I still have your stuff over here. You lent me the Horizon stuff to make my video, and I did that, like, at the beginning of the year.
I know, I need to get that back so I can add it to my Aloy shrine.
Right.
So anyway, I was at work and noticed that, hey, on Twitter, they just announced it's getting launched.
Right, yeah, on Twitter.
All these editions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. So I went to PlayStation Direct, PlayStation's main thing. Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, this is within a 4-hour period.
Right. He's at work this whole time, by the way.
Yeah, I'm at work. I'm hiding in the bathroom during this. The Regala edition, the big one that I want, was sold out.
Of course.
So I'm like, okay,
it got scalped instantly.
I'll get the one down, the collector's edition, because it still has the statue and everything.
Right. I don't understand how these scalpers managed to do this, like, so fast.
In 4 hours.
I don't understand.
I wanted the Regala edition, so I'm like, okay, well,
the cool one.
I called GameStop.
Yeah.
And they didn't have them yet, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just keep. I literally pulled up my Opera browser when I got home and just put it on a 15-minute refresh.
Yep.
Every 15 minutes, refreshing the page. And then around 11 o'clock, it went live, so I pre-ordered my Regala edition, got it, And by the time I went to Sony Direct's website to cancel my other pre-order from them, back to here, it was sold out. So that was maybe about 20 minutes.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm like, okay, well, I guess a lot of people want this.
You know, is it too much to ask that if someone wants to pre-order a game or a collector's edition, they should be able to do it until the date that it releases? That's the way that it's always been up till, I don't know, what? How long has this scalping thing been going on? Like this badly?
Ever since the PS3 and Wii. The Wii was a huge one for scalpers.
Yeah, it was. So I'm gonna say like, because I remember getting some 3DS collector's editions like painlessly, and some other really big. I think the Wii wasn't so bad, but at that point I was still going physically to GameStop, which, by the way, we need to mention this. If there's some big thing coming out and you're excited and you really want to get it, physically go to GameStop or Game if you're in the UK or wherever you are. Physically go to your game store and ask them. Even if you go to their website and you don't actually see anything there.
Yeah, talk to the people, because sometimes they can pull some tricks.
Well, also, not only do they just pull some tricks, usually their store will get allotted, this is actually getting intense here. The store will actually get allotted, a set amount of physical copies so that they will sell them in store. And those do not get listed on the website. You have to actually be in the store in order to get them. And that is how I was able to get my Metroid Dread Special Edition pre-ordered. It was out everywhere, and believe me, I looked the day of everywhere. It was nowhere.
By the by, how much did that edition cost you?
80, I believe.
Cool. It's going for 220 on eBay. And my Horizon, going for 600.
Just got a Poliwhirl. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. That's 600?
600.
That's sick. That's disgusting. I mean, either way, the 200, it's like about the same, like, markup, but that's still awful. Like, here, how many people are not going to be able to play the game well, I mean, you can still play the game. You can still buy your games digitally. That's the thing. But I mean, we're collectors.
Yeah. I'm buying it because I want to support the series.
Exactly. Like, I did the same thing. Like, you know, the Metroid Dread one is not super impressive, but it's really cool that it's happening. And I'm so happy for that. And I need to make sure that Nintendo gets this. Like, yes. But the thing is, now that it's all being scalped anyway, there's no message being sent to Nintendo. They're not going to be like, oh, well, this sold better than X or Y.
Or like this. This is a fun one. So I've just been going from GameStop to eBay, swapping back and forth.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the Among Us Ejected Edition coming to PS5. Where it's like, it's a collector's edition kind of thing.
Exactly, right.
And it's first about 80 on GameStop's website. It's already on eBay for $266 under the caption of PS5 Collector's Edition Ultra Rare. It's not even out yet.
See, now that... and you're on eBay?
I'm on eBay.
See, that's just violating terms of service. Again. Oh my gosh, it really drives me insane. But at the same time, like... And I said, now before I forget this, I said, there is some good to Scalpers. And you probably thought I'm out of my mind. But... No? Here's one thing, at least one instance where I'm glad that Scalpers exist. Or at the very least, price gougers. Because in some instances, the companies themselves just kind of refuse to make the content that we want in the first place. Ah! Oh! I just beat that by a fraction of a second. And I think Meowth was flipping me off. For those watching, sorry. But anyway, say for instance, this is one where I was at least kind of relieved that a scalper existed. So, let's just say that a certain company, Nintendo maybe, teams up with Universal and makes a theme park in the middle of a pandemic on the other side of the planet. And this theme park on the other side of the planet has a giant gift shop with so many cool exclusive things that you will never be able to buy anywhere else, nor will you be able to buy them on the internet. Who pulled through? Scalpers pulled through. They went there, bought a ton of the stuff, and put it online so that people around the world would be able to buy it and not put themselves in physical danger.
Yep.
So that's cool, but at the same time, like, it's only cool because Nintendo doesn't have a store where they're just selling the stuff on here. Because I look at the sites and, I mean, not the sites, like there's people who have like videos where they walk through the Universal gift shops, which by the way, they're really awesome. Nintendo.
I want to go to the Jurassic Park one so bad. There's so much stuff.
They're so cool.
I would lose all that money.
And I remember seeing like in these walk around videos, like the rides are so neat. Though I still think this is a whole other topic. It's like a huge missed opportunity, like that it's not actually a Nintendo World. Like, how come there's not like an F-Zero ride? How come there's not like a Metroid shooting level? You know, like a haunted, you know, like haunted Luigi's Mansion level. There's so many things you could do for like rides and game stuff, but it's all Mario. Oh well. But anyway, so you go through this gift shop and you see like these cool things. There's like these, you know, this little really thin metal diorama puzzle building toolkits. What do you call those things?
Got a couple of those.
Yeah, I don't know what you call them, but Nintendo had some exclusive ones made. One was Bowser's Castle, and the other was Princess Peach's Castle. And I was like, oh my god, I need that Peach's Castle. It is so gorgeous. I want to put that in a display case. And of course, like you convert it to yen, and it's I don't know, it was maybe like $15 or something. I don't remember how much it was, but of course it's like double or triple that online. Probably much more so now, because I think the park had to like shut down for a while. But yeah,
it's when the Goombas tried to kill people.
What?
Yeah, they had an incident.
Oh yeah. The Goomba Tower stack fell over like on the Yoshi ride. Luckily, nobody was hurt, and they just had to shut the ride down. But yeah, that was the thing.
That made me laugh. I'm tired and cynical.
I mean, I felt kind of bad. Like,
I got squished by a Goomba.
I mean, well, couldn't you imagine? Like, it was your time to go. You actually managed to suck up the money, and you got to go to you know, Super Nintendo World, and while you were there, you couldn't ride the ride, like one of their big rides, because a Goomba Tower fell over, and people didn't get it out of the way in time. Like, that does kind of suck.
You just hear the Mario Game Over music.
That was insult to injury. Oh my god. So anyway, so you said there was a second Scalpers story? Or were they both like the same?
Oh no, that was it. It's just the fact that within 4 hours and 20 minutes they were gone.
Right, and you actually managed, you were saying before, you actually managed to get yourself a PS5. I didn't even know that. So how much did you end up shelling out above list price to get that?
$650, but like you said, this is one of those that might be a good scalper because I got off a Newegg.
Well, hold on, was it? I only buy like a couple computer parts occasionally from Newegg. I don't know about game stuff. Is that like Amazon? People individually making their own pages?
Pretty much. It's like Amazon or Walmart where they have it, but it's like individually owned.
Oh, I see. So you were buying it through like another person.
Yeah.
Right. So how much of a markup is that? Once again, I forget. I don't know if you got a physical or digital or how much it was in the end over.
It's about $150 over, so.
Yeah, that's
not too horrible because I mean, let's be honest.
I mean,
$50 in taxes and then another $50 in shipping.
I mean, all things considered, anything a dollar above is horrible. It's, you know, illegal. It shouldn't be happening. But you were able to get a PS5 and you can actually play it in the year 2021. So that in and of itself is kind of worth paying for a lot of people, and I get that. Because there's a lot of games that you're just not going to be able to get to play. Like, maybe you're, like, so psyched about, I don't know, what's coming out, Final Fantasy 16, and you want to make absolutely sure that you have one of these things by the time that the system comes out. If there's a bigger shortage, what if they're harder to get? What if the price goes up? You don't know, and it preys on, it preys on fear of missing out. You know, how scalpers work. Because here, a perfect example of preying on missing out, I need to tell you a little bit of a story of a huge win that Nintendo had. I don't know how much of this was intentional, but I gotta tell the story regardless. So their recent amiibo that launched was the Zelda and Loftwing amiibo from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
And pretty.
What?
It's a very pretty amiibo.
Yeah, it's... I don't know if... Is it physically larger than the others, too? Because it costs, like, $25 instead of,
About the same size as the Banjo-Kazooie one.
So it's the size of a normal one. Why is it $25 instead of, $15?
I don't know.
Whatever. I'm assuming it's slightly bigger. Kind of like the Detective Pikachu was slightly bigger and it costs more.
That one was creepy.
Anyway, I mean, like, list price, it costs more. So anyway... Nintendo releases this, or rather, they set up pre-orders, right? Pre-orders go live on Nintendo Store, they go live on Amazon, they go live on GameStop, you name it, Walmart, everything. And, of course, it's sold out instantly, and you can buy them online on eBay for, like, I don't know, 80, 90, whatever it was going for dollars before launch, okay? So, of course, people who really wanted this were really mad, and especially so because that amiibo in particular locks out I'm gonna say, a quality of life improvement that absolutely should have been included in the game from the get-go. It should not have been taken out and put in for a toy add-on. I understand they wanted to sell their toys, but not in this instance. That it was wrong. It should have been like an extra for fun, maybe like your Loftwing like changes color or something like that, or it does like some extra for fun flavor thing. It should never do like an actual quality of life improvement. Anyway, minor side tangent aside, people are freaking out that they're not going to be able to play Skyward Sword with this new ability, and they're going to have to pay a scalper in order to actually, it's like fast travel warp in a way that like respects your time in the game. So the real problem was, once again, people are paying a lot of money to get these, and then launch day comes, and the people who actually decided not to buy one were in luck, because turns out Nintendo on launch day came out with tons of them. The stores were flooded with them, and online stores had plenty to sell. And then the only thing that happened was the scalpers were out tons of money. And I love that. Because here, think about it. You're a scalper, you just bought, I don't know, 200 of these amiibo, right? And you're trying to sell them online for, I don't know, 80 bucks a piece, and you think you're gonna make tons of money, you vicious monster. So,
disgusting thing to be.
Despicable waste of air. And instead, Nintendo literally just trolled you, and now you're out all that money. You think you're gonna return them? No, you can't. You're screwed. And I love that. That's awesome.
It makes me so mad.
I know, because at the same time, that's not going to keep happening. And my plan for the Metroid Dread amiibos, because unfortunately I was not able to get a pre-order made for those. Here's the thing. No, here. Those retail for $30, or they're supposed to. Just give me a rough estimate, Matt, of what you're seeing for buy it nows of the Metroid Dread amiibo pack on eBay.
80.
80 bucks.
60 to 80.
60 to 80. That's just disgusting.
And the individual ones, because I guess they're making like the dual pack and then like the individual for the Robo Dude. Mm-hmm. He's going for about 60.
Ugh. Well, God, that is sick. We don't even know what they do. That's another thing. We don't even know what they do yet. Because it's basically just a collector's item, and they're just scalping it. I just want to collect Metroid stuff. And it's taking advantage of the small, frail Metroid community. We are small. Let us have this one thing. We waited 20 years for it, for God's sakes.
No.
Let me buy my little Metroid toys.
No, how about you pay me over $200? Then you can play with them.
Well, that's just for the special edition. That's not even for the amiibos themselves. Isn't that just sad? Because here, I actually have a complete Metroid amiibo collection, and I'm scared that this is going to ruin it for me. Now, I was going to say, my plan for this, because Kim actually managed to get a Banjo-Kazooie amiibo for us on launch day, and a couple others by doing this trick. Basically, what you want to do, if you're not able to obviously score a pre-order, which I doubt you did, unless you're a scalper, what you want to do is make a bunch of tabs, like on your phone or on your computer, and just bookmark these pages where you can pre-order, or rather just buy it, right? So the actual page for GameStop, the actual page on Amazon and Walmart, all of that. You bookmark all those pages, and then what you want to do is, like, at 11:30 or so, the night of its launch, like right before it goes live, look at all these pages and keep refreshing them, keep checking all of them, because those scalpers are going to start trying to return or like say that they don't want to purchase, you know, whichever, like say they didn't sell 30, right? Now they're gonna try and put 30 of them back into whatever store. Now GameStop has an extra stock of 30, right? So my plan is I'm gonna try and somehow snag one of these like at midnight, because that was the only way that Kim was able to do it before. You know, get a pre-order for pretty much anything anymore. But if you're able to get one for an amiibo, that's the way that we've been able to do it. I don't know if you have any tricks, Matt, for anybody.
You know what I really miss?
Yeah?
When something you knew was rare and hard to get, and the worst thing you had to do was go sit outside of GameStop overnight.
Well, not even like rare and hard to get. That was just like, hey, you know, a new game's coming out. That's all you got to do is here, hold on. We went to say like the midnight release of Pokemon X and Y and a bunch of other games I can't even like think of off the top of my head, because it was a fun event. Our friends were all going, you know, people all got together in order to play the games with each other and just, you know, talk about Pokemon or Monster Hunter, whatever game it was. People just wanted to get together, you know, for a new game coming out. They didn't do it because that was the only way you had any hope of getting the game. This actually kind of sucks. Right now I'm doing a training evolution for a Zubat, and it's one of the few Pokemon I actually have and its evolution. So whatever. But that used to be like a fun event, you know? And now you gotta do it because you have to.
That was fun.
It was. I feel like that kind of stuff is never gonna happen again. I
feel like Sony could easily just send them to the frickin' store. Don't put them online.
Yeah, and you know, I do appreciate what GameStop does. I really wish more stores did that, where they had a set stock, how many they were allotted to themselves, and they would not put them online. You had to physically go in the store, tell them that's what you wanted, and you had to tell them you wanted, like, exactly like the one that I'm talking about, like the, you had to say, like, you wanted to pre-order one of them, and not one from their site. You had to say one of the physical ones allotted to the store. Because some stores were actually, like, I don't want to say lying, but I'm going to say 6 or 7 different GameStops in my area, and only one said they had some of them left. And by the way, this is still launch day. Or not launch day, God. The same day it was announced.
Okay.
Yeah, which is, as far as we're concerned anymore, is launch day. Because you don't have a choice. You have to get it that day. So, from that same time, like, that was my only choice. I had to get it immediately. So I go to the store physically, and I have to tell the guy that's what I wanted. And by the way, of all the stores I called, none of them had any of the amiibos. And I don't even think that all GameStops get the ability to pre-order amiibos. Only some of them do, like physically in store.
Yeah, I think it depends on the store.
Right, and typically I've been doing Best Buy for getting my amiibos. I've had the most luck with Best Buy. I remember one of the worst instances of this, with me in particular, was trying to get the Metroid 2-pack of Samus Returns. That was a hard one. That was so bad. And because of it, I'm gonna have to do something that is another thing I'd recommend that you guys do. That's kind of like probably a scummy thing to do, but I feel like I don't have a choice. Say I find one and I buy one. I'm gonna start looking for a second because I don't trust it. When I was doing my Samus Returns hunt, yes, I found and paid for, I'm gonna say 3 before one of the companies didn't like send me an email afterward, like I'm gonna say like 20 minutes afterward. It was like unacceptably long, where they were basically saying, "Oh, we're sorry, we're already sold out," or "We sold out." Like, basically, like it was effectively sold out so fast that the site actually couldn't keep up with the fact that none of the stock was left, but the system was still letting things through and taking people's money. So it had to refund you, and then now you're out tons of time. Like even like 10 minutes is a big deal when you're talking like what's left, you know, and like am I gonna get it or not? So I think I think Toys R Us took my money, Target took my money, Pikachu save me! Sorry, I'm yelling at Pinball.
He wants you to suffer.
He does. Oh, just got really lucky. But yeah, that was awful. So several places actually took my money until eventually I finally found some place. I don't remember what I had to do. I've looked at different countries. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know about this, but the UK really doesn't have this problem at all because it's illegal there. And because of that, to stop it, in order to buy stuff online, say if I wanted to buy the Metroid Amiibos or Metroid Dread Special Edition, and I wanted to buy it on Game, and I tried this. I wanted to buy it from Game. It will actually cancel my order and not allow me to do it unless I have an address to ship within the UK. And it doesn't tell you this until you're at the very end. You already put in your payment information and all that stuff.
I like that.
You like that?
I like it because it means scalpers from other countries can't take it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's great and all. And I have to censor you now that I just realized that.
I don't care.
This is my time, man. I'm sleepy.
This is coming from the man who can't catch a Zubat.
But anyway, it's bad for us over here because we can't. Here, it's only bad because our government is not, you know, mandating that these companies do this, or the companies themselves aren't trying to protect the consumer and step up and do it themselves, or the manufacturers, Nintendo, Sony, aren't doing it themselves to protect their own consumers. Instead, they're getting all the bad PR. And you know, Xbox is, of course, I don't want to leave them out too. The Xbox Series S and X, I can only imagine, are also being scalped online.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a problem everywhere. I feel like the companies need to at least do their best to try and stop it themselves. I'm pretty sure I ran into some places that actually limited how many copies you were able to buy. It was like limit 1 per customer. But the problem is that doesn't stop a bot, because the bot generates accounts and buys 1 per account. So
that's why I wish they would just send it to the stores. Because
right.
the employee can see, hey, this person comes in every day to buy one.
What they might have to do to stop the bot is make it like limit 1 per address. So that way, say, I tried to buy one and I sent it to my address, and then I went to the same site, changed my account, and bought it, and I tell it to send to my address, it would stop me there. It should stop you, because it'll realize you are cheating the system. But that takes a lot of work. And of course, like any little bit of extra computing power is going to make a lot of those erroneous sales, where people are buying nothing, finding out like 30 minutes later, getting a refund, and then having to come back again and try and buy it from either a different site altogether, or just they're out of luck and they have to cough up a lot of extra money. I don't know how many eBay bids I lost over just trying to get an SNES Classic, just of already, it's been several years now since that came out, but those things are still above their list price, of course. And now it's not as egregious as it was right when they came out, but it's still bad. And I think I lost like, and this took me weeks, I'm gonna say about 7 or 8, and I was watching like another dozen, just trying to get one reasonably. And it was awful. Eventually I was so mad I couldn't take it. I was like, this is just giving me so much stress and anxiety just trying to deal with this. I'm just gonna suck it up and buy one of the buy it nows. I'm done with this. And that's what I did. So
that's what Craig had to do for his PS5. He's just like, I'm done. I don't want to, but I mean, at this point we have been, we're pretty much out of the PS5s being out.
Right.
And this is still a problem.
It's still a problem, and a lot of people are at their wits' end and just buying this, and that's why at the top of this episode we have articles like little Jimmy in high school is just buying and selling games online. Look at him, he made $500,000 because he basically price gouged it out of America or whatever country he's from. Typically, this happens really badly in the US. It's, as far as I can tell, it's not as bad in other regions of the world. However, Japan is experiencing a really bad retro games price hike. I think that was what they were experiencing. It was something that was like really, really bad over there. So, I mean, everywhere, of course, supply and demand, it's going to happen everywhere. But the only way to really stop a price gouger, like we said with that bit where Nintendo really stuck it to them and trolled them, it's by gaming supply and demand. If supply is set and the supply is in the hands of scalpers, they determine the price, and the demand isn't going to go away, and people have to just pay for it. You have to suck it up. But if all of a sudden there's a ton of supply, scalpers have nothing. They just lost tons of money gaming this, basically trying to play a stock market of video game stuff, and they lost. And they need to lose more often. That's all I have to say, I guess, on that. Matt, is there any other roundups, stuff that we can say about scalpers?
I don't like them. They make me angry.
They make me angry, too.
Like, I don't know.
I don't see this going away unless there's laws made, which I really... Typically, I would rather, like, companies just, like, together come up with, like, a better way to just do their own practice, and... customers would then gravitate towards buying from those companies because of those practices. Say, maybe Best Buy makes 90% of the sales from new amiibos because they do like a limit one per customer, and everyone buys from there, and they know that. Then other companies are going to catch on, and they're going to start doing it, and we don't need a law made, right? So I don't want there to be a law. Typically, as soon as we make laws, and we have more problems later. So I would rather it just be, let us self-govern ourselves, but as of right now, it is bad. This, like you were saying, Matt, I think this really cropped up in like the past 10 years or so, and it got really, really bad. Mm-hmm. Maybe people have more money to throw around and just play with, but I sure don't. I'm broke. So it's really bad over here, especially when I'm trying to, just play new games. And if I'm just a Metroid fan, for the past, I don't know how long, ever since I started playing Metroid. I just want to buy the little collectible toys. Let me buy your toys.
This whole thing is sadly preventing people from just playing games.
Yes. Well, mostly it's physical stuff. If it's consoles, absolutely. It's the physical stuff. Because if you can buy, I can buy, No More Heroes 3 or any other game that like might have some big, collector edition. I can buy the digital version on my Switch and it'll never change the price unless it's on sale. So it's only going to go down. But yeah,
eventually the PS4 is getting phased out.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch will be phased out.
Yeah, the PS3 and the Vita stores were gonna be shut down, and that made a huge scare, and people spent more money like on those shops than I feel like they've ever done. I think I read that somewhere. They spent more there during that week than they've ever done before. And it's because of fear of missing out. It's the same sensation. However, that's just digital stuff, and there is no supply. Supply is infinite. When there's a finite supply of physical goods, no matter what they are, but in this case, specifically video game consoles and video game collectibles, we are screwed. This is bad. Like, if you... Here's the real problem. Me, a fan, is watching a Nintendo Direct at E3, and I cannot contain myself out of excitement from a huge announcement of a new video game, Metroid Dread. Just watch my reaction. I scream a lot. So, how come I need to stifle my excitement and immediately pull up my computer, check a bunch of internet tabs, and try and pre-order everywhere as fast as I can, as opposed to just be excited? I just want to be excited. Give me at least a day. At least.
You better be able to grab it.
Yeah, and the thing is, they were gone. I think I saw something on record. It said it timed how long certain sites had the Metroid Dread Special Edition live for pre-order. The average was 4 seconds. 4 seconds.
That's horrible.
That's not even, it's not possible. How? You can't. I know you can't. We're asking questions and we're going in circles because it's just a problem and I don't know how it's gonna get any better, but it's sad. It's really sad. But anyway, Matt, do you have any other closing thoughts about Scalpers?
No, I'm gonna go slash some tires.
Slash some tires and some wrists. Anyway, thank you all for tuning into this episode of Hitbox. If you enjoy the show, you can help us keep it alive by supporting us on Patreon with the links in the show notes and this video's description. For those of you on YouTube, remember to like the video and subscribe for more. Be sure to let us know what you thought of the show and what other topics you'd like to hear us cover in the future. And special thanks to all of our amazing Patreon members. See you!
Bye!